All right. Welcome to another Woods Report.
New week.
New week. I can say today, lots going on. Because you
I
always say
that. Because we come over a weekend.
And I always ask my mother to tell me what's going on. She watches the news all day.
My mom be glued to the news too. Hey, girls, did you hear about the such and such?
I said I want her to do that too because I keep her mind sharp. I read somewhere when they get a certain age to ask them to repeat stuff back.
Puzzles.
Because that keeps their mind. I told her don't, because if not, she'll just watch the news and not really make sure she know what's going on.
Remember, but it causes her memory also to keep
working. Forces her to have to write down what they're talking about and contribute to the show. So that keeps her, try to keep her mind sharp.
Every now and then, depending on where she's located in the house, she'll roll on over and say, girls, I got one thing to say.
Okay.
And then she'll say it. Like the other time you guys heard her singing in the background.
Right. So as we wait for people to come in, Ma, did that thing work better? Go slide into the laundry area?
Oh, I love it. It's
okay. No, I'm just saying that thing is gone.
He's building something though. We'll see. Hopefully it'll still be smooth like that.
All right. So we still don't have our stream lab going. That's why we can't show pictures or anything. Yeah. But we'll just have to tell y'all what's going on. Yeah. Another missing person.
This is a for real one though.
Yeah.
This ain't no fabricated
And the
story.
problem that her family is having is that Carly Russell drained everybody. People not even reporting this, Harley, because of Carly. That's what I said. With Carly Russell, everybody was talking about it on the social media. Everybody was, get out and find her. Let's do something. Because of Carly, the boy who cried wolf, people are just kind of like, So we got to wait for a while for people to be not tired. And then the next, girl that comes missing.
That's why a part of me was like, if this is a history, if this girl, Carly, had a history, it's almost like if her family kind of knew,
right?
Don't say nothing until they figure it out, because they know she has a history.
Right?
Of, hey, look at me, I need attention.
Well, what happened to Allisha Watts? Family of the missing Black woman demands answers. Have you heard of this girl? No. See, nobody has. Community members in North Carolina are praying for the safe return of Allisha Watts, a 39-year-old woman who was last seen on July 16th. Now, what caught my attention with her is she reminds me similar of us. Like, they said she was into a lot of volunteer work.
Was she part of a
lot of organizations? I don't think so. Okay. But more organizations, working with organizations. And she volunteers a lot of her time. They said, what's that? Nat or something? She volunteers a lot of her time. And so that made me think and everybody had a kind word to say about her. Even the people in the organizations who work with her said she give you the shirt off her back.
Wow.
Really nice woman.
Okay.
Family members said Watts drove down to Charlotte, North Carolina, where she planned to meet up with her boyfriend, James Dunbar. The duo had plans to attend a comedy show at the Coliseum. It's unclear if she ever made it to the event. Now, at a press conference on July 26th, relatives of the 39-year-old Charlotte woman says authorities haven't given them any updates. So the authorities are investigating, but they haven't said anything. Okay. The family says, we don't know nothing. We don't know anything. A cousin said, that's the problem. What we know is when the public what the public finds out. That's why we're here. At Wednesday's conference, Watts' family was joined by members of the Racial Justice Network, a civil rights organization dedicated to eradicating racial disparities across America. They vowed to fight for her safe return home. The organization is working on organizing a search party for Watts. They are not telling us anything, a rep told the organization. We want to be able to put a team together to look for her. She's well loved in her hometown, as you can see. We want to know where Allisha is. We need answers. Now, what we do know, and after I read this, you'll tell me, you think you say the same thing I said, where she is. Allisha Watts has been missing for over 10 days. She was last seen on July 16th, leaving a residence, Pamela, on Pamela Lorraine Drive, according to a press release. She was seen driving her black 2023 Mercedes-Benz. What's with these Mercedes-Benz?
I'm like, hey, if you could afford it.
No, I mean, what's her name?
She had a Mercedes, yeah.
2 days later, on July 18th, the North Carolina native Mercedes-Benz was found at a Department of Motor Vehicle office. Dunmar was found, her boyfriend was found unresponsive inside the vehicle.
Oh, Lord.
According to officials, Watts was nowhere to be found. So he was in the car, unresponsive, at a driver's license place. That's where they found him in her car. When officers found Dunmar in the vehicle, he initially told the authorities he was taking a nap. Officers returned to the parking lot 3 hours later to find him unresponsive. Isn't that weird?
There's something weird about that.
What's going on there? No, he was unresponsive. He good now. Now her family, I'm just gonna paraphrase this. Since then, they brought the boyfriend in for questioning. He's been released. But he hasn't gone back to his apartment. But his sister has been seen going in and out of his apartment, bringing stuff in and out. The family wants to know, why is his sister allowed to go in and out of his apartment, to bring things in and out? Why has there not been a search of his apartment? What's going on?
He could be a suspect too. So because he was actually found in the vehicle, wouldn't that be the first thing that the police officers would start looking? They would go question him and then go look at where he lives.
It says a video. Okay, so they did. It says a video shows Watts' relatives shows the police searching his home.
Okay.
It's unclear when the video was taken, but the Charlotte Police Department hasn't revealed why they were searching the home or if they found anything. But since then, they said that's when they said his sister has been known to be going in and out.
Okay. Since they searched.
Yeah. Well, on the X app, Twitter. They call it the X app now.
So it starts a new name now.
On the X app, formerly known as Twitter, some people are worried that Russell's kidnapping, Carly Russell hoax, may deter officials from pushing for Watts' case. Other missing Black women and also other missing Black women who have been reported since then. It's like they're not putting all the wherewithal they had. They going back to what they used to do, which was
ignore our story.
We looking, y'all. We on.
They don't be hot on the case.
With Carly, they was hot because of the white baby. I told you, Carly said she had a white baby.
Well, she knew exactly what to say.
She knew what to say. That's why she looked up Amber Alert. Because she knew by saying a missing baby, it'll make it go higher on the.
She did her homework. She did her homework. She said, "I gotta say, baby, in my."
So now everybody got to say baby. Allisha Watts' family should have said she had a baby with her.
But why she couldn't say anything?
I know, it's just ridiculous.
Okay.
So no one knows what happened to Allisha Watts.
That don't make sense.
I think her boyfriend has something to do with it.
Something is not right because
that's all I'm saying.
He was in the car. It'd be different if they found her car with nobody in it.
He was unresponsive in her car. No, first they found him. He said he was taking a nap. Then they came back and he was unresponsive. He probably took something.
Because where they were parked, was there any
at the Department of Vehicle?
Was there any business going on there? Like he could have, like, was she in there and something happened on the way out, or were they somewhere else and parked the car there? I mean, that's something that the investigators. I watch too much TV.
That's what I'm saying.
That's too simple. If we were investigating this, you guys.
The family got to hire all these people.
Yeah.
Private investigators, they got a lawyer.
Because
it's like they got to go out and do it themselves.
Because my first thought would be, first of all, he would be a suspect.
He's my number one suspect.
He would be the one I would question. Where you been? How long were you in this car?
But why they not telling the family? In my opinion, they should at least tell the family what he said. We went to the concert, then all of a sudden a car flashed us over. We pulled over, and then I just remember being knocked out, and then I woke up, and something. They haven't told them anything. So they don't know nothing unless
foul play. Like she could have been fighting him.
Unless the only thing I can think of
and ran
is
away.
They don't want to say nothing, because sometimes if you don't say anything, the person who's guilty end up speaking for you. It's too quiet. You ever hear somebody say it's too quiet?
What do you mean?
Like if they make it too quiet, the boyfriend or somebody gonna end up doing something. I don't know. I'm just trying to.
For me, you guys,
you can at least tell the family or the mom or something, say don't tell anybody. We'll tell you, but you can't let this leak out.
I watch too much Law and Order, and I know the fact where the car was parked. Mm-hmm. They definitely will look at cameras. If anything had to do with the DMV, you said it was a DMV?
They had the DMV.
So if they don't see anything on cameras, then they'll go, oh, let's trace. We got to, this something's not right with the boyfriend, because where did the car come from? How many miles? Where did it come from? It would be a lot of questions. And I don't know. It just seemed to me, like you're saying, they don't want to put a lot of energy in it. So this family has to pay for their own investigators. Yeah. Well, let's hope and pray.
So there's
their own investigators.
Then of course you have some. I'm looking at some of the comments. Of course you have some, like I said, the dumb white people. Not all white people are dumb. Mm-hmm. The dumb ones. Mm-hmm. What does it matter what color she is? You just race baiting again. Why can't you just say a missing woman? Why does it have to be a missing black woman?
You know what?
It's always somebody stupid
but
to say something that's obvious.
But you know what? You almost want to say just missing woman and don't say the color. When you get more people.
You're right.
I'm being funny.
Oh, you're right.
But I remember watching a few episodes of Good Times.
You're right.
And it was two white cops that came and was looking for Florida's nephew who had robbed a bank or robbed some organization. And they were getting ready to call. And the Floridian said, tell them you're white.
You right. Well, it's that joke I said.
Yeah.
That I posted a joke that the man said, Arthur says, love y'all. Hey, Arthur on TikTok. Arthur. Yeah. The joke was the man called the police and said that there's some robbers in my barn. Or in my my barn.
Okay.
and we need you to come quickly. And the police said, we're busy right now, but what you can do is just stay in your house, keep the door locked. We'll send somebody over in about 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. So then he hung up the phone. He picked it back up again. He said, don't worry about coming. I just shot all of them. About 5 minutes later, there was a helicopter, the FBI, the police, the fire department, everybody. They went into the garage and caught the men stealing. The officer came to the door and said, I thought you said that you shot everybody. He said, I thought you said you weren't going to be here in 30 minutes.
Thank you. You know what little secret lines trigger them to actually take your case serious. So I see the little sarcasm with the person saying why you gotta say they black. Why you gotta? I can't. And then you gotta show. I don't like your little tone.
But here's the thing: even if you don't say it, you gotta show her picture.
I know. But if she was a white girl,
yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It'd be sad if we don't have to say the color.
We
of the
shouldn't have woman. To say it.
It's a missing girl.
So
we'll be right on it, man.
So that's why when white people make, or even stupid black people make those little smart remarks, we don't want to have to say it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to say it.
But you got to give a photo. You got to get what neighborhood you're in.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. I'm thinking any missing child should be a priority regardless.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick. Cardi B. A fan reports battery after the rapper threw the microphone at her at Vegas. See how
what did that fan do?
Thank you. You could be the one in the right, but I heard even Charlamagne said it today on the Breakfast Club. That fan is probably going to turn around and sue you for battery.
Is it like
and they'll probably win.
No, they may not. Mike Tyson's situation on the plane, he didn't get charged for that man throwing a bottle at him.
The difference is Mike Tyson had his altercation directly with that man. Cardi B threw the microphone that could have hit anybody in the audience.
Oh, I thought she was throwing it at the lady that threw the water.
She did, but it could have hit anybody. See?
Oh, well.
Or somebody can lie and say it hit him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cardi B fought back when a rude fan decided to fling a drink at her on stage. The WAP rapper furiously threw her microphone at the attacker, which anybody would have done. That's a reflex.
Mm-hmm.
If you throw something at me, I'm throwing something. First thing in my hand, I'm gonna throw it at you.
I don't think I would throw the mic. I would definitely stick my security on her though.
Well, that's what Charlamagne said she should have did.
Get that lady in the blue coat.
Get her out of there.
She just assaulted me on the mic. I would let everybody know.
Yeah. And if you say for other people to get her, you'll get charged too. Because she could have easily said
my security.
No, I'm saying if throwing the mic or telling other people to get her, you would have got it.
Oh no, I would have said security.
Right.
I need my security to help now because one of the fans is being rowdy.
Yeah. And well, in a now viral video shared Saturday on social media, Cardi B is seen retaliating quickly when a concert goer standing at the edge of the stage tosses up the contents of a large white cup, splashing her face and soaking her orange swimsuit cover up. That's the other thing. You're drinking out of that. I don't know what diseases you got.
Especially with COVID and stuff. That's still out there. That virus is still out there. Anything. You put your saliva in that, and that's on me now.
It says,
and I'm a mom of how many kids?
2
I can take that back to my children.
It says she berated the individual as security retrieved her microphone and appeared to remove the fan from outdoor show in Vegas. The video has 68 million views and counting. I was watching live when the girl posted that video.
But who posted it?
It was a girl standing right next to the girl that did it, right behind her.
Oh, really?
So she went live. She was live showing it.
Did she do it on purpose then, you think?
No, she was live showing the concert. And that girl in front of her threw the drink. And I was watching live. And everybody started talking about it. And people say, you need to sell that footage to TMZ. They was telling her that footage was going to go viral.
It's going to be used in the courts.
Well, 68 million so far has seen her page.
How did it go, though? How was it flowing? The way
from her page. She's the one that captured it.
No, I'm saying, how does it flow with them if they were in court using that?
Would
it make Cardi B look like that's why I did it?
It clearly shows the girl throwing the drink.
Okay, that's the assault.
And then it shows, because they were right there, right in front.
That's the assault.
And then it shows Cardi B with her microphone throw it right at the girl and kind of hit her on the side of the head.
That's the moment. That's what I'm saying. She has a good lawyer. The moment whoever had it on video camera shows her assaulting, throwing something at Cardi. And Cardi's response could be this or this.
And it showed it didn't hit anybody else. It hit that girl. So Cardi's good at throwing.
Thank you. I'm hitting the person that assaulted me. She gonna get off. I think so.
I hope so.
I think so.
On Sunday, the fan filed a police report for battery.
Take her down.
No arrests or citations were issued according to the Las Vegas. And then got the nerve to go file a battery.
You better leave Cardi
and
B
you
alone.
Threw your drink on her.
You better leave Cardi B alone. You may find yourself trying to go into your house and somebody clunk you on your head.
It says this trend, and we talked about this trend.
Yes.
Of attending female artists says just to attack them is disgusting. And I hope everyone participating gets that energy back, tweeted someone. Somebody said she did what needed to be done. People need to stop throwing stuff at performers.
What was this lady's reason? Did Cardi say anything about her?
Somebody said they heard Cardi saying, it's hot. I wish y'all sprinkle me with some water.
Oh, and she felt the need to.
I don't know.
Here you go.
It didn't look like she was sprinkling her with water. It looked like she was throwing some water on her. So I don't know. This obsession with these fans.
I told you.
I think it needs to. I don't think that they should just be thrown out. I think anytime you throw something on stage, I think they need to get you, pick you up by your collar, roughly take you out, and keep you there and file charges. They need to do. Remember the Malcolm X movie when they shot
Get your
Malcolm
hand
X?
out my pocket.
Remember? You remember his? Yeah. Remember his security dragged him down the stage because the police didn't come up there and do nothing.
I know.
They was beating them up
on their own.
Remember, they was beating them up, and then they picked him up, dragged him.
They roughed him, boy. They roughed him up.
The whole way to the backstage, your head would have been hitting everything on the side.
And I bet you remember not to do that no more. I don't know. I'm hoping she gets a good lawyer, and
good lawyer.
And whoever took that footage, it's almost like the Floyd and the police on the Floyd. That one girl was the only one that had a video recording of him doing it. That's going to be used in courts.
Yep.
You may get off, girlfriend.
All right. Now, in political news.
Yeah, same old same.
Mama loved this story. Did you hear about Trump? What's going on with Trump?
I don't think the needle to me don't move with him.
Nothing's going to happen to him. It's a soap opera. Nothing's going to happen to Trump. Georgia judge rejects Trump's efforts to toss the evidence in the Fulton County probe and disqualify the district attorney. Of course, he said she's a Democrat and she's after me. That was his whole thing.
It's always a conspiracy. They after me.
When this woman then took down the whole black gang, Young Thug, she go
everybody that does something criminal.
She trying to make it do anything illegal in Atlanta. You in trouble.
You're going down, dude. I don't care who you are.
A judge in Fulton County, Georgia, on Monday rejected efforts by Donald Trump's legal team to toss evidence in the criminal investigation into the former president's efforts to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia. He got all those cases still coming. The other states are probably going to come against him too.
But I'm telling y'all,
it's so many cases. It's cases on cases on cases.
It don't matter. I love when Allisha on The View said that one thing we talked about Friday about him asking the two Hispanics or the one Hispanic guy to take the camera footage or something, and they end up not doing it, but it was recorded that the big guy told me or the boss told me or whatever. They may use his testimony. They may make him testify. And Sonny's all happy. The singing canary, they figure he'll be scared and don't want to go to prison. So he may talk. And then we're hearing on the other side that Trump is covering his legal cost. So that's a issue with
well, not really Trump. The people are covering his legal costs. Because Trump ain't paying for his legal costs. The people
are. You're right.
The people that's giving him money.
They're raising money for him.
They're raising money for him.
But Allisha kind of hit the nail on the head. And if anybody knows and watching us talk about this, I always wondered with even the Trump case, who makes the decision that a jury will try him or a judge? Because Allisha said if a jury, 12 people, one of those persons being a Trumpster, that may be a hung jury because they may be there all night, all week, whatever. I think he's innocent. And all the other 11 may say, no, dude, what's wrong with you? Or ma'am,
right.
That can be a hung jury and then he can walk away still. So it don't matter how many cases come against him if it's trial by jury. But why can't something be trial by judge with him?
Some of them can, but I don't know the difference between
what makes that decision.
Or do they make the decision?
I always maybe they make the decision.
They probably make the decision.
It would be so simple if it was a judge, because that one judge can say, "Get out of here, put him in jail, or put a ankle bracelet on him and make him stay at home." I don't know, but 12 people, I don't trust a jury.
Just going in and out.
I don't trust a jury because even think about the history of juries when we were tried. We were not always tried by our peers, and they had a hard time getting people on the jury because both the prosecutors and the defendants, they're picking people to try to side, that takes their side or thinks the way they want them to think. My sister and I will hopefully be on the jury, and I've been waiting for.
I don't want to be on the jury.
I've been waiting for almost 50 years to be on the jury, and I'm finally being called. I think at a certain age you don't be called anymore. I know because Joy is saying she's in her 80s or something. At a certain age, they don't call you anymore. So wow, why won't they want an older person on the jury? Because they think a certain way, or they may not be conscious of.
You may not. Well,
Mama being on a jury, you don't think she'll. I don't know why they do an age cutoff.
I think it depends on what the trial is.
I was called. I didn't go because I take care of my mother.
Oh, so
but you wasn't that old though. Remember, Joy said you get a certain age now, you're not called anymore. Yeah. But that's what Allisha said on The View. She said we can talk until, and this is my own words, we can talk until Jesus comes back. about all these criminal cases against him. If there's a jury that's going to try him, one jury can say, I don't think so.
Right.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, in this one, he is trying to have that case thrown out.
Mhm.
And he says about her being, of course he'll never say black, but
Mhm.
he's saying she don't like me.
Oh.
So she has a personal ought against me.
Dude.
It says Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis is expected to present her 2020 election interference case to a grand jury, she said, by September 1st. So there's going to be another one coming quick, Ma.
Yeah.
CNN previously reported that Willis is considering bringing a racketeering and conspiracy charges in connection. She big on that. That's what she doing with YSL and Young Thug and them.
Mhm.
She big on bringing racketeering charges.
Wow.
In other words, with the racketeering charge, they don't have to say, like with him with the telling that the man to get rid of the tape.
Get rid of the tape.
With racketeering, you don't have to prove that he got on the phone and did that. You just got to prove he's the boss.
Ooh.
So she could easily bring racketeering charges to him.
Okay. Whoever's in charge.
Who's the person
made
in charge?
all this happen.
The Godfather.
Yeah.
He's the Godfather.
It's been 2 years.
She's been waiting on him. And we still got the black district attorney in New York that still got to put charges
I
against
pray
him.
God is on her side to give her favor.
So that's what we'll
Because what's
say.
done in the dark will come to light. We know that already. Maybe this may be the opportunity where God goes, the bigger they are, the harder they'll fall.
So there you go.
Maybe it's time to fall.
We'll see. I don't think
We'll
so.
see.
I agree with you. Said if it's a jury,
Mhm.
somebody on the jury not gonna.
They'll get to them.
Yeah.
Hey, don't you love? You know you love Trump,
Right.
Yeah. I don't think I think they're trying to get at him. They've
Exactly.
been doing that for years.
Exactly. DeSantis says now
What
you saw
now?
this on The
What
View
now?
because Kamala Harris
Is
is
speaking
supposed
about
to
it
speak
tonight. She has an
tonight.
interview tonight.
DeSantis agreed with the Florida Board of Education. Black people benefited from slavery by learning skills like blacksmith.
And building
I
streets
told
and
you,
houses.
it's the same concept. No, but people would think you always got to put it in layman's terms. That's why Jesus spoke in parables, because he know how dumb we
He
are.
spoke on their level of what their understanding and what they dealt with.
It's
that
the
day, in that
same
day.
concept, and I'm not going to even say a child, of a woman being violated in the bed. And the man says in prison, well, I taught her some stuff. She didn't know. She learned some stuff.
Being violated, she learned
Some stuff. I taught her while I was violating her.
She learned.
I taught her how to do this in bed. I taught her some tricks that she never knew before.
Right.
So next time when she's with a man and they're having sex, she'll be better at it.
Mm-hmm.
So while I violated her, I taught her some stuff.
She learned some stuff through
You
it.
would be appalled if somebody said that on national television. Wouldn't you? If somebody said, well, she did learn some stuff.
Through it all.
That's the same concept. While you were violating a group of people, you taught them how to shoe a horse.
And they learned.
And they learned how to shoe a horse. And they learned how to plant greens.
And grow some
and kill
crops.
a pig.
And build a highway and build a railroad. They learned those skills.
While you were violating.
While you were ripping the families apart and violating the women. And
no, it doesn't matter that the woman's
them.
child learned on another plantation because you snatched her out of your arms when it was a baby.
Taking children from their parents.
Right, what I'm just saying.
I was telling my sister.
But they learned. They
telling my
learned some
sister,
new skills.
I said a lot of times the mentality of, you should be glad we brought y'all
So
over
slavery
here.
wasn't that bad, was it?
You were real poor in your
You would
country.
have still been in Africa if it
with
wasn't for
spears
us.
in your nose and bones coming out your
As
ears.
if that's all of Africa.
Don't even know about our history as kings and queens. Remember Egypt? That's Africa. That we got strong history, very good history. But no, we did y'all a favor. Y'all, we brought y'all over here kicking and screaming. We get it. But y'all learned a lot.
And you learn that free labor for hundreds of years builds a lot of money in your family, doesn't it?
You made money off of us. We were property.
Free labor.
You got paid when we ran away. My property is gone. I need my money. Oh, here you go. Here's 1,000. How many of them ran away?
But they want to whitewash history. Yeah. And when I say, look, all of it. Black people own slaves too. Yeah. Tell it all. I don't want to hide none of it. If it's a black family now that benefited off of owning black slaves, I want to know about it.
There were blacks in Africa that benefited off of bringing more slaves to
that movie that Viola Davis did. A lot of black people got mad because the way she portrayed that tribe was not the real way that tribe was. They benefited from slavery.
And when
slavery ended, they kept
going. Because you think about it, when you think about the continent of Africa, is so many countries and so many tribes against tribes trying to overtake tribes telling on other tribes to be slaves, get money from the people that came to get them, whether they were Dutch, whether they were British, whether they were from Scotland, wherever. Tell the men with all that tribe that's down in Uganda, go get them.
And Scarlett says, let's not forget these skills were learned under peril with whips and chains. Oh, so you a good blacksmith now. Not only did you learned after being hit a couple of times how to shoe a horse.
You had to change your name, so you got beat down for that. We couldn't read. Some of us had to hide to go learn how to read. So we benefited from that. We benefited from not reading. You told us we couldn't read.
So that's why I say I'm trying to put it in the most layman's terms for people that are dumb. Even black people who say that. There's some black people, self-hating black people, like Candace Owens. Yeah. But I try to say it in the most layman's terms of how dumb that sounds. You learn skills. While you were being abused.
By being violated.
I said that. A woman being violated in the bed can learn skills, can't she?
She learned some things from that. I'm sure she remembers.
Especially if she was a virgin. I did her a favor.
She don't have to deal with, the first time.
Her hymen don't have to be broke no more. I broke it for her.
And I was telling my sister, I said,
so some good came out of it, didn't it? Or the ones that say, he assaulted her and she got pregnant and had the baby. Because one of my friends was a result of that.
Right.
And her mom didn't abort her.
Yeah, thank God. She kept her.
But her mom don't say, oh, thank God I was violated. I would have never had you.
Now, I've experienced having a child. But
something in spite of.
I told my sister, I said, how it's worded is even like, it makes you cringe.
But in the Bible,
black people definitely are saying in spite
of. But the Bible talks about that. Yeah. Taking something that the devil meant for evil,
God meant for
and God turned it around and worked it for your good.
Yes, thank you.
In real life, people can do stuff to you that's meant to hurt you
of the
and destroy you and get fired on your job or get this. And God said, don't worry about it. I'll take that incident and it'll work out better for you because now I'm going to give you a better job.
I'm going to turn your morning into sunshine.
But it doesn't take away the person that did that to you.
Thank you.
They still reap it. They're going to reap every bit of what they sowed. Period.
Right. So to say it when Kamala's going to speak to it tonight again, but the whole school system in Florida that's bringing this up, you need to really sit back and review this.
Scarlett said the same thing. That doesn't absolve the evildoer of their evil deeds.
They will reap it.
That's the same thing that the Bible, it doesn't change it. God said what the devil meant for evil, I'll turn it around and make it for good. Right. But the devil is still going to pay for what he did.
That person will pay because they allowed the devil to use them. So that was seeds that they sowed.
Exactly.
Good or bad. God said that's the law of the land.
Just teach history. Yes. Why are they so afraid of history? Teach history so then people don't repeat it.
They don't want to teach the ugly of history. They want to make history,
That's history.
even in that time of bad, that sadness, they want to still try to glean from it because they have to look good. And I was saying when I was telling my family earlier,
some history ain't good.
I know it's ugly, but it helps you not to repeat it.
It helps you.
It's like, oh, I learned from that. I'm growing from that. I see God moved in that in spite of that.
The same thing we say with Black people, the ones that went to Carly's defense. They don't want negative Black. Yeah, there's negative Black too. If you're gonna say, I don't like Black people who do that.
What?
You want to filter what Blackness is and what images come out. No. Good, bad. Like we went to Africa.
The good, bad, and
we went to Africa. That means I'm going to take you. He was our showed us around. He was
our tour guide.
He said, "I'm going to take you to the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And we went to see the good, and it was like, oh my God, the
I loved it.
Beautiful. South Africa is beautiful.
But I love that history. I love other countries.
And then he said the bad.
I love how other countries teach history.
Yes.
They teach the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yes. If you go to Europe, the good, the bad. We went to in Paris. What's her name's? Let Them Eat Cake. Castle of Versailles.
The castle.
The good, the bad. They said the good, the bad, and the ugly.
We saw the ugly of Paris.
They said the good. They told you about the good parts of that queen, Antoinette. The bad parts of her, the ugly parts of her.
I'm laughing because we in Paris in one of the areas that we stayed in, rode the train. It was graffiti more than what you see in the inner cities here.
Yeah,
graffiti everywhere. I'm like, ooh, this is the ugly part of Paris.
Emerald says, "Hey, ladies." Scarlett said, "Marie Antoinette."
So
they gave you the good. Y'all know that. Those of you who travel in other countries, you get a good history. They teach them all of it: good, bad, and ugly. The good parts of us, the bad parts, and the ugly parts. But somehow in America, it wants to be whitewashed. They just want to teach we don't want to hurt anybody.
We have to look good in this history as well. We don't want to look bad. So we're letting you guys know. And I was telling my sister, I said, some people do think that even Black and white. Thank you for liberating us from the continent of Africa.
I've heard Black people.
We would have still been running around.
Because they think Africa is some third world country.
We all are doomed.
All of the countries in Africa. They think it's like,
oh my God.
I don't know what it is. It's a history.
We brought
they don't know. They don't know.
Over here. Now you have become presidents. You become vice presidents. You've learned some skills.
Oh, gee, thanks. You've done us
you've got. And the sad thing about it is that we've learned these skills like Rosewood and
then you burn down.
You burn them down because of some stupid lie.
So what about that, DeSantis? How about all the slaves that learned blacksmith and went on to Rosewood and started a blacksmith company, and then years later you came and burnt it down?
I'm like Florida on the Good Times. Damn. We trying to do our own thing, and
or the white liberals. I'm not a Republican or Democrat. Or the white liberals.
Yes.
Hey, you learn how to do blacksmith. Guess what? You don't have to work. I'll just give you some money. Then you can be lazy and then have all kind of lazy kids from generation to generation, and we'll just take care of you because we feel bad for what we did for y'all when y'all was slaves.
Here's your crutch. Use this.
You shouldn't have to work anymore in your day in your life. My people hurt your people. We brought y'all bleeding heart liberals. And they be the same people that get clumped over the head when they go to the south side of Chicago. You really don't want to hurt me, Black man, do you?
I've done a lot to help you. I've got made sure every kid you get money for them. You don't really have to.
Then when they getting robbed, why are you robbing me? I help Black people. Oh my God. Bleeding heart liberals.
Oh, Lord, our world, help us.
You gonna teach us blacksmith, and then take the job, tell you don't have to work no more. You don't need to do blacksmith.
I want to hear tonight when we do
just a stupid.
I want to hear because Kamala's going to be speaking on her little interview. I want to see if she's going to talk a little bit more about that because they showed a little clip of of that conversation, and she's thinking this shouldn't even be no conversation.
Why is it I told you,
It's like, why are we talking about this?
Take
She
away
said.
slave and say a woman being violated in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Replace slave. You wouldn't even have the conversation because it's so stupid.
Wow.
If a man turned around and said, I made her a better woman in bed.
She's a better lover.
She's a better lover.
I violated her and did all I need to do.
But I made her better. I taught her some stuff she didn't know.
How does that sound? That's
the same thing.
Mm-mm-mm. If she had not had me in her life, boy, where would she have been?
Now she has an OnlyFans page. Mm-hmm. She's making millions of dollars every year. If it wasn't for me violating her, she wouldn't have an OnlyFans page. She wouldn't be a sex worker. She wouldn't have all these different things she knows how to do, and she wouldn't be a millionaire.
I'm just grateful that in spite of our history and all the things that we had to deal with, like Mom said, families pulled apart, women violated, all the ugly things that we can. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for giving us the strength to go through it and still be strong through it. I know a lot has happened historically to our people, but I'm so grateful those of us who know God or have a faith in something that keeps them alive and strong.
Scarlett said, I hate the word violated. It's our word. We can't say that word.
We can't say the word, the real word.
But yeah, you said it. We can't say
violate.
If we say that word, they'll take us off of.
Think of the word violate encompasses anything.
But you're right, Scarlett.
Hurt.
It's that word.
Anything that hurts.
All right, let me move on because they get on my. I hate. We'll see. Kamala, you said she's gonna speak on it tonight.
We'll see how long she talks about that.
Is it CNN?
This is Lindsay's news thing, so I don't know if it's on CNN or not.
I don't know where. Yeah. But apparently she's gonna speak tonight about it.
And I like Lindsay. I forgot her last name.
Actor Paul Rubin, who came to fame in 1980 as the children's TV star Pee Wee Herman, has died years after a cancer diagnosis. His team said Monday.
What kind of cancer?
He was 70. Let's see. Last night, we said farewell to Paul Rubin, an iconic American actor, comedian, writer, and producer whose beloved character, Pee Wee Herman, I know you are, but what am I? Delighted generations of children, adults with his positivity, whimsy, and belief in the importance of kindness. Paul bravely and privately fought cancer for years with his trademark tenacity and wit, a gifted and prolific talent. He will forever live in the comedy hall in our hearts as a treasured friend and a man of remarkable character and generosity and spirits. He had been previously diagnosed with cancer. The announcement of his death included a personal statement from the actor explaining why he had kept his medical condition under wraps. Please accept my apology for not going public with what I have been facing for the last 6 years. I have always felt a huge amount of love and respect from my friends, fans, and supporters. I have loved you all so much and enjoyed making art for you. It talks about him skyrocketing fame as Pee Wee Herman. I know you are, but what am I? His obnoxious. That was obnoxious. Mm-hmm. In the 80s and early 90s. You're a moron. I know you are, but what am I?
And they would do the Pee Wee Herman dance.
Yes. Pee Wee was the star of Los Angeles stage play produced by Rubin that gained enough following. HBO recorded and broadcast in 1981. That eventually led to Rubin's big break in 1985, the movie Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure.
Big Adventures.
The movie followed Pee Wee's surreal and slapstick journey to find his missing bicycle. And while a modest box office hit, it became a cult favorite. Mm-hmm. Let's see, his live action heroes. It was halted in 1991.
What happened?
After he pled no contest to exposing at an adult movie theater. Remember they used to have adult movie theaters? Mm-hmm. That's why I said today they'll be like, girl, how many? You gonna get rid of man for that? Mm-hmm. That's all these men. A lot of these men be doing that.
Adults.
In 2004, Rubin was sentenced to 3 years probation after pleading guilty to a misdemeanor on an obscenity charge involving photographs. Oh, this is what you said, of minors engaged in, you know what? They seized it from him. Those brushes with the law dented but didn't derail his career. He returned to the big screen in Batman Returns, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Blow, the movie Blow. His TV credits included appearance on 30 Rock, Blacklist, and Gotham. So he came back. I remember he went away for a long time and then he came back. They don't say what kind of cancer. No.
He really kept it private. Next y'all know. Is Wendy on? Who was it that told you about it?
Yeah. So if y'all know what kind of cancer Pee Wee Herman had, let us know.
That's sad.
Oh, Scarlett said, okay, I figured it out. Yeah, that we couldn't say that word.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Well, you mentioned Wendy. SAG actor waivers under scrutiny as Viola Davis says filming the movie wouldn't be appropriate.
Wow.
Viola Davis says she is opposed to filming her next movie amid the simmering actors and writers strike, even though she has the approval from SAG and AFTRA to do so. The Oscar-winning actor's move comes amid scrutiny after SAG and AFTRA decision to exempt some productions from the strike that are not affiliated with any major studio or streaming platform. The dispensation has sparked question in recent days. Davis released a statement this weekend after her upcoming action thriller, G2O, was among dozens of independent projects that SAG granted her to be able to keep going.
SAG must not have granted Brad Pitt.
No. Davis is attached to produce and star in the picture, which is partially backed by her company, Juvie Productions. I love this movie, but I do not feel it would be appropriate for this production to move forward during the strike, Davis said in a statement provided Sunday with the LA Times. I appreciate the producers on the project agree with the decisions, Juvie Productions, and I stand in solidarity with my actors. We talked about this.
Yeah.
She said, and I'll wrap up what she said, if she was to continue to do this movie,
but you said it was through Amazon.
If she was to continue to
she was approved by SAG.
Right. If she was to continue to do this movie, then she felt it would prolong the strike. It would help prolong the strike because if you're just giving outs for certain actors to be able to do things, what's going to stop actors from just doing those
things?
Out
to do those things, yeah.
And also stop people from putting money into those projects that can continue to be done without, crossing the line. So we had a discussion before this. I told Lenore, I said, in my opinion, even if your contract says you can still
if SAG
work,
even says
if you are a SAG
stop you
and an actor
with this project,
I feel like you need to be either striking or that's it. You don't support the strike. That's my opinion.
That's a hard one because that's why I was asking you who is all, like Wendy was telling us the two different groups. It was SAG and it was something else. And I asked if everybody in the industry, from your lighting crew to your makeup crew to everybody that comes together to make a movie, or because even we were told the Tony people are even a different group, some of them. So who is part of SAG? And even if you are a member of SAG and you find an outlet,
if y'all go out TikTok, see y'all later because TikTok acting stupid.
If you find an outlet like Viola Davis had, she was working on a project that was with Amazon.
Come to YouTube, The Woods Report.
It had nothing to do with SAG says we can't stop you doing that one. You can go ahead and do that one. Whereas we talked about Brad Pitt, who I'm still gonna finish my film, and SAG is probably like, dude,
he said he may.
He may. We're not allegedly. He may. So
it said that SAG after objects to the term waiver being used in connection with the projects that are being allowed to proceed, focusing instead on the fact that the interim agreements have been signed. They don't want to call it a waiver. I guess they saying if we've already said something, yes, we can't turn around and say no or something like that.
Because Whoopi said that they're part of a contract being on The View that is not under the SAG, under the I guess there's checkpoints or checklists of things where if you go and film this, if
Right.
you do that, you're going against the whole picketing thing, right?
It says under the terms of the interim agreement, said projects are required to abide by the guidelines set by SAG, has presented in the bargaining. The Guild is fighting for higher wages, greater shares of revenue generated by streaming hits, and limitations on the use of artificial intelligence, among other benefits and production and protections. The exempt productions must operate under these terms until the union and the producers agree to ratify the contract.
I see, Wendy, you got on. Hey,
but
Wendy,
I say
this is your category.
I still agree with Viola Davis. Even though you're saying it's okay for me to continue on with my movie, I don't want to, because in my opinion, it's gonna prolong the strike. Because I'm working, I can just bring actors in to work. It's just, I don't know. That's a touchy one, like you said, because do you want people to work? You don't want them to work. I feel like if you give any kind of waiver or anything where anybody in that whatever
project they're working
is working, you're not going to get the full benefit of that strike.
It's not fitting the guidelines under SAG, so SAG can't say you can't work. But I kind of see what Viola is saying. Even though my project is okay,
it fits the criteria.
It fits the criteria. I'm not even a part of this. Is a whole nother project.
Right.
I'm still saying no to this because for my fellow actors,
spiritually, I'm standing with them.
Morally,
I'm standing with them.
And it would be nice. It would be more powerful voice for SAG and all you union people. If people like Whoopi sat down.
Right.
If people like Brad Pitt don't even have no conversation.
It says, while the waivers have certainly sparked debate among the members. So the SAG and actor members, a lot of them don't agree with the hierarchy.
Oh. Okay.
Many of whom voiced their opinions under Silverman's Instagram posts. Silverman stated for the record that she is extremely comfortable agreeing to disagree, while working together, picketing, and telling the producers that they can kick rocks. The truth is, we all want the same thing, she said. We want a swift end to this strike. We want to get back to work having won crucial and new benefits. So whichever side of this particular issue you fall on, we can't let disagreeing on it weaken our resolve. But she has to understand that's not a little small dispute that y'all have among each other. That's huge. And Viola Davis is kind of calling y'all out on it by saying, you okayed this movie, but I'm still not going to do it because I'm standing in solidarity with my fellow actors. Why are y'all okaying movies?
If it's not written down, if it's not part of the guidelines, they have no leg to stand on, and that's probably what.
But even if
they're giving her the option, she's taken the option to say no.
Yes,
I'm not going to continue this project, even though you're right, it doesn't fit the guidelines that you can't stop me from doing it. I'm still want to stand with my fellow actors and SAG as a union and say no. If everybody does that, maybe like you're saying, the strike will be a little quicker.
It'll be quicker.
It'll get things because it'll start.
Because you won't see if you are a actor, you cannot be on anything.
Don't do no commercials.
No
I don't need to see Samuel Jackson in any city car commercials.
It's old. This is old. No Facebook, no YouTube,
stuff, right?
No nothing. No nothing. I don't even want to hear you talk. If somebody come up to you and ask you a question in the news, you don't say nothing. I'm sorry, I'm on strike. If you did that, it'll move faster because then people would be like, well, dang, we ain't seeing nobody.
You're making it uncomfortable for the public. It's for the advertisers, for the people that are waiting for the ending. I'm thinking, what's the industry that makes money off of this?
Yeah,
you got to hurt. You got to hit them in the pockets.
They're not gonna do it.
And a lot of actors are not coming together to do that. When you got a conversation with Brad Pitt going, I don't know, I may just finish my movie.
That's what I'm saying.
But when you got somebody like Viola Davis saying, even though y'all gave me the green light, I'm not gonna walk past this union line,
right?
Because I'm standing with all my people.
Yeah.
And I like if more actors do that. I'm waiting for Whoopi to sit down.
She not.
I'm waiting for you, Whoopi, to sit down from The View.
She not, because she worked for The View.
You got enough money. You can sit down for
They'll
this
fire
doing
her.
this.
They'll fire her.
Well, they know that she's in a union.
They don't care. If
Yeah.
you walk off your job and you pick it in, they can't fire you.
And there's a lot of actors are hanging on with their little jobs that do pass the SAG review and still get money for their things if they're doing on the
Wendy
side.
says, "Hey girls, I was at the doctor. Hey Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
I hope you feel good. Feel better." Okay.
Okay. Well,
Terrence Crawford absolutely. I'm gonna come back to him because that's your donkey of the day. Now, while we were all looking again at Carly Russell, again, I always tell you how the media loves to take our attention away from stuff. Did you know that there was a 14-year-old girl found in the barracks at Camp Pendleton?
I told you
I
that.
heard about that.
Oh, you knew about
This
that.
is an old story.
Yeah.
What's the deal with her now?
A 14-year-old girl was found in the barracks at the California Marine Corps base last
On
month,
the base.
2 weeks after her grandmother in San Diego reported she had run away from home, and a Marine was detained for questioning, officials said Monday. The Marine has since been released to his command while federal law enforcement officials investigate. Marine Captain Charles Palmer of the 1st Marine Logistics Group of Camp Pendleton, about 40 miles north of San Diego. It was unclear how the girl and the Marine came into contact before military police found her in the barracks during the daytime on June 28th. 14.
Mm-hmm.
According to the San Diego Sheriff's Department, her grandmother reported her missing on June 13th and told authorities she had run away from home 4 days earlier. The teen's information was entered into multiple missing persons databases, including the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. She was found on the base. Authorities returned the girl to her grandmother, according to the Sheriff's Department. The claim, the 14-year-old is Native American and was violated.
Mm-hmm.
She had been sold to the soldier for the S word, adding that she believes the military is trying to cover up the incident. Military officials say they could not release any other details, including the age or rank of the Marine. The case has been handed over to the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, the federal agency of charge investigating the Navy and the Marine Corps thing. 14 years old, sold.
Mm-hmm.
Trafficking. That's trafficking.
Yeah, but my thing
on a Marine Corps
that's
base.
what I'm saying. That trafficking young girls and military don't fit, do they? Not American military. Maybe in other countries, I don't know. That's an oxymoron.
And how did she even get in?
Trafficking U.S. military. That don't fit.
And how was she in the barracks?
Who was?
How did she walk in?
I don't know. Did she run away? And
But how did she get in there?
I don't know. That's why they're investigating. They've been talking about this since June.
What, Mom?
She ran away before. She has a history. But in spite of her history of running away, I don't know what happened with her involvement with the military guys.
Okay.
That don't make sense to me. And if any of them was involved with violating her, we say the word V again, they need to be stripped of
now,
being a
let's
soldier.
stay on the Native American trail. Because you had mentioned a while ago, we was talking about them teaching Black people skills. Apparently, we're supposed to thank them. Just, I guess the Native Americans are supposed to thank them too, like you said.
But y'all better be glad we took over this country.
So she was Native American. Here's another thing that took our mind off of this while Carly Russell was going on. Dig begins for remains of children at a long-closed Native American boarding school. Archaeologists are digging in a central Nebraska field, trying to find the bodies of children who were buried more than a century ago at a Native American boarding school. What happened there? In a remote patch of long-closed Native American boarding school near a canal, some railroad tracks, Nebraska state archaeologists and 2 teammates filled buckets with dirt and shift through as if they were searching for gold. They're trying to find bodies of children who died at the school and who have been lost for decades. a mystery that archaeologists aim to unravel as they dig in a central Nebraska field that was part of the campus a century ago. How many unmarked grave sites are there of Native Americans,
I
probably?
don't even know. You can imagine when you just disregarded as human and treated bad.
It was part of a national system of more than 400 Native American boarding schools that attempted to assimilate Native American people into white culture by separating children from their families and cutting them off from their heritage. Same thing. They took their kids away from them too.
Yeah.
Are you going to teach that in his? Are you going to come up with some positive DeSantis and reteach that history too?
You're not going to talk about Native Americans because they'll say you are benefiting from what the country is doing for you now.
But what about all the hundreds of kids that's buried?
They won't talk about that. That's what they're doing with our history. They're trying to cover up that. They're going to talk about the good that came out of helping Native Americans. You can go to school for free and maybe free medical. Look, they benefited from us coming to this country.
It says it was the home of 600 students from more than 40 tribes across the country.
See how we digging up a lot of ugly history.
600 students taken away from their families, from 40 tribes in this country. This country, this is our history. And they finding their bones buried under the school.
Mm-hmm. So, and then we watch these old Western shows where the Native Americans, they was always didn't like the white man. Pale face. We don't trust him. And they would always, you see some of those shows, I'll watch these old Western shows, or even the newer movies where the Native Americans, that was their territory, and they had to have approval to come through. What was is it Dancing with Wolves? Wasn't that a big Native American movie?
It said, go ahead,
keep going.
It said 49 of the children killed, but not be able to find the names of 37 students. The bodies of some of those children were returned to their homes, but others are believed to have been buried on the school grounds at a location long ago forgotten.
Yep.
And just for you transgenders, they don't have stuff attached to them, and they'll find out what kind of, was it a male or a female?
Okay. You had to throw that in there
because and what's the biological difference between a man and a woman?
You can open up a person's body and tell that. If nothing on the outside is real.
They not only know that, they know they were children. They weren't short people. They can do scientific stuff
and know your sex. Yeah. If you're a boy or male or female. Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay.
And not know, I don't know. Was that a they? Was that a they that was buried under the school, perhaps?
It was a them.
What was the surname that bone is?
It don't matter. Oh my gosh.
No, okay. It was a little boy around this amount of age. Mm-hmm. We're scientists. We're not dummies. We're not dingbats. We're able to use stuff to find out what these things are.
Right.
Not hair and breasts.
They can even tell by your skeleton, right?
Yeah.
They can tell even scientists is remarkable.
Not that she had implants. Was this a boy at one time with implants?
Oh well.
It's a boy.
Okay. This is sad though that they came across that.
All right.
So.
Oh Lord, what y'all talking about?
Go back to Wendy when she came to the doctor. Said she came from the doctor.
Drew says hello all. True says assault and trafficking has been an issue on the base.
That's not good to say that.
They were trying to pass legislation to have the crimes investigated by an outside body because the military handles their crimes eternally.
Like our friend's brother who died on one of the ships.
Well, that movie with what's his name?
And their investigation.
Oh, this real life.
This is real.
Life.
My friend's brother died on one of those on the Navy ships.
Yeah.
It was a
internal investigation.
One of them did it. And they didn't go any further with giving the family the explanation, but it's almost like A Few Good Men.
That's what I said, like the movie.
Yeah, like the movie. He died under the.
Did you order the Code Red, son? You live in a. Did you order the Code Red? You know what? You want me on that wall.
You need me on that wall.
You know what? So you can have your nice little dinner parties. I'd rather you just say thank you.
I love that movie.
Did you order the Code Red? You
I felt bad for
But he's right.
I felt bad
Son, you don't want to know the truth. You want to know that slaves learned blacksmith during slavery. You don't want to know that feet was cut off, some of them.
Yes.
He's in there with one arm that you took from him.
It don't matter. You don't
want to know that.
That's the ugly side. That's what he was doing in A Few Good Men. And the sad thing is the two soldiers that he ordered it, they got stripped.
But he's right.
They wanted to listen to their superior.
He's right.
That's what Trump's trying to do.
You don't want to know. That's what DeSantis, son.
Oh my God.
You don't want to know that. No. Learn the good parts. They learn how to make pancakes and slaves.
And take the cotton that they picked and make clothes from it. Wow, they learned how to sew.
You wouldn't have all these black people doing these fashions if they didn't learn from slavery.
Thank you.
How to turn cotton into cloth.
Yes.
You don't want to know the truth.
Yes.
You don't want to know their hands was bloody while they was picking the cotton, do you? You can't talk about that at your fancy dinner party.
Make the kids
That's
cry.
the same thing the movie's saying.
That'll make the little kids cry. You want to tell them the good things about what happened in our history. Go ahead. Oh, Lord.
You don't know nothing about birthing no babies. Remember the movie? Birthing no babies.
Okay.
I birthed your baby. You don't want to know about the 18 kids she was breeded to have and was taken from her. But you want to know that she helped you raise your child.
Yes, definitely raised them. Oh,
all right, I'm done.
Go ahead.
Let me see. I wonder if DeSantis put a. Oh, y'all going quick. Let me go back up. True says which often leaves the victims' cases up to their abusers. Yep, and friends. Scarlett says, I wonder if DeSantis can put a positive spin on that.
His background is not all that squeaky clean either.
He would say, if we didn't take these 600 Native American kids from these 40 tribes and try to assimilate them and teach them white culture, we wouldn't have America. They'd be riding around now on horses. Y'all should be
scalping
glad.
everybody.
Scalping everybody.
And breathe and praying to the earth.
If it wasn't for us,
nature.
You guys would still be living in teepees.
Yeah. You needed us.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Oh, that was probably one of his best movies, other than The Shining.
True says, sad we have to find a way to keep accurate history alive. And I fought Black people for that.
Well, they said
if you don't teach your own history, who you think gonna teach it for you?
They said that council group in Florida, there was some Blacks on that group that made decision. They probably, you know how you always become the token Black if you're the only one at your job in the group. They all look at you. Should we put an ape on the credit gift card?
Yeah, sure. I don't know nothing
about I think you should. It wouldn't be no problem putting the ape on there.
I don't know
You're speaking for all the Black people.
So if you don't learn, Black people, your hands aren't unclean. Again, if you're going to teach history, teach it.
Teach it.
All of
realness, the ugly.
You dropped the ball.
The good, the bad, the ugly. Teach it all.
You dropped the ball. Yeah. You expect somebody to teach your history?
What you
feel. Jewish people teach their history. Yes. They don't expect it to be taught in school.
Yes. they do teach at home.
They teach it at home.
And whether they stay with it or not, like your friend, like
it don't matter. Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
He had to learn it.
He had to learn.
He still does it. No. He said useless information, but I had to learn it.
Bill Maher. I'm sure they all had to.
You have to.
Bar mitzvah, everything. They had to learn with the Torah, everything. Moses, the Exodus, the different holidays and the traditions.
Yes. What you do with it after we look, that's you.
Yes.
But you're gonna learn it,
it's
son.
instilled in them. Yes.
And if you say anything about us, we're gonna whip you a new one, like we did Kanye West.
What did you say about you?
Why would you be mad at a group of people for destroying somebody that's talking about them? I wish we did.
I know. I wish we.
You talk about black people. Oh, you will never be on television again. We coming after you.
We're not together even.
No.
When you think of anything that's negative with Jews, they come at you.
They gonna come. You will not be.
They'll cancel you.
We own all these studios.
Yeah, you're right.
We own the studios. We own the TV. We own this. You think you gonna get on there and just say whatever you want to say about us and think we're not gonna destroy you? Yeah. You out of your mind.
Yeah, that's sad. We're not even together on a cause. This is a cause to help our people move forward. So black people,
I fought you.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
what, Ma?
She said the NAACP trying to do something.
No, I told Kim, I said there are groups out there that if this will stir them up, but we don't have the unfortunately, we don't have the history that Jews have when it comes to religion,
right?
When it comes to the Torah and all of that happened to them, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they teach that. We're separated.
We used to teach church, but then people kept saying white Jesus.
That's the white man's God. So, that's the white man's Jesus.
See, so then we separated from
that.
How
is he a white man?
No, because the way that they presented Christ with hair and blue eyes and all of that stuff. Yeah. Okay, Wendy says, did you already talk about Pee Wee Herman? Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Everybody's saying hi to each other. True says, I haven't served, Scarlett. I was just referencing a recent document of a soldier named Vanessa Gullion. Scarlett says, I served for 3 weeks. Really?
Ooh, okay. Some people.
Scarlett said, okay, 32. True says, well, thank you for your service. Yeah, thank you, Scarlett. Mm-hmm. Scarlett said, compared to the outside civilian cases, the military takes more action and a higher percentage. True says, well, you would know firsthand better than me. True says, but I did hear there were a lot of issues at Fort Hood. Scarlett says, but yes, there is a cover-up, but not from the investigators. That is usually done by an independent appointed individual. Mm-hmm. And then True says, is the appointed official a military official? And she says, or an external law enforcement agency. Mm-hmm.
Because the government takes care of its own.
Oh, Scarlett said 32 years.
I know my old roommate.
Sir, 32 years.
My old roommate worked for the government. And we were talking about how civilian, right? It's either government or civilian. Mm-hmm. My stories were different than hers when it came to racism and issues with her coworkers and how they handle it on her government job. I told her, I said, if you were going through that on my job, they'll be fired.
Yeah.
It would be no, let's talk and let's think about it, whatever. And hers, they do investigations. That person may be moved around.
Right.
They won't be let go right away. And I sat there and I said, that's why a lot of people don't trust our government.
Yeah.
They don't trust our government because we have our own rules and regulations with how we handle our workers. Military is handled differently.
Yeah.
And people sit there and go, but in the civilian world, we get cut down right away if we did some of the stuff that y'all do in the government.
Well, look at Trump.
But I did learn that from her. And I said, wow, your world is different.
Trump keeps saying, they coming after me, they'll be coming after you next. He's a moron. They're not coming after me because I didn't hide papers and files in my toilet. He said
that what he's going through is for them. He's letting the people know that support him. I'm being the scapegoat for y'all. They coming at me, but they really want. Think about it. And people sitting there going, "Yeah, you're right. well, I don't like them even more.
Any person that's black that sits and listens to him is a moron because they've been coming after black leaders. We supposed to go, oh, wow, what a light bulb. The light bulb came on when you said that, Trump.
Yeah.
We didn't know that. We didn't know the FBI targets black leaders. Wow, it's good that you're going through that because we didn't know that.
We didn't realize
they wasn't after Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or anybody. No, just you. You're the first one. You've opened that door for all of us to see.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Big dummy.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Now I'll skip this other story. I'll do that tomorrow.
You going donkey?
Donkey of the day. You always want to know who Charlemagne the God's donkey of the day is. Well, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, I'm probably saying his name wrong, undisputed welterweight champion. Crawford became the champion. He was on the Breakfast Club before the fight. And Charlemagne the God said he thought he was going to get beat up by this Errol guy. The Errol guy was the favorite. And Crawford was the underdog.
Okay. So
when he came on the Breakfast Club, DJ Envy was trying to get Charlemagne in trouble. Like, tell him that what you said. You said you don't think he gonna win. And Charlemagne said, I'll tell him. He said, I don't like when people talk about somebody behind their back and then when they face. And then the person come, you gotta have that same energy. So he said, I'm not afraid, I'll say it. He said, I don't think you can beat him. And then the Crawford guy was like, why? He said that he's bigger than you and he's better. Mm-hmm. And the Crawford guy said, well, you're going to lose your money because I'm going to win. Okay. And the whole show
was back and forth.
And forth. And Charlemagne was like, I don't think so.
Was that today?
No, this was, the fight was this weekend, the past weekend.
Did he win?
Yeah.
Oh, he won like he said.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Charlemagne was telling him all the reasons why he wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
So today, Charlemagne said he gets the donkey of the day.
Oh, because
Charlemagne gave it to himself. Oh. Because he lit into this man.
This
man did not.
I'm not putting my money on you.
You're smaller. You don't have a good reach. You're not as strong. Wow. He moves better than you. All the stuff that he was throwing at this man, that man was like, what you saying don't mean nothing to me. Uh-huh. And I was thinking that's how you got to be in life. You can say all this, it means nothing. What is on Color Purple? You're ugly, you're black.
Where you gonna go?
You're stupid, you're dumb, don't nobody want you.
And that was the opposite of what Viola taught the little white girl in the Help.
Use beautiful, use kind, use don't grow up and persecute me. No, it was some good white people.
Yeah, she was. She took care of that little girl.
The people my grandmother worked for were good.
Yeah, they loved my grandmother.
She raised their kids.
My mom and my aunt did not want to see the movie The Help because it did remind them of their moms, and that's
my
what their
grandmother
moms
raised those white kids.
Raised those little white kids,
and she did that. Use beautiful,
use kind. Jesus loves you,
and they grew up.
Thank you, Miss Rita,
and they loved my grandmother.
Miss Ruby, I love you, Miss Ruby. She raised them.
What, Mom?
My grandmother was treated like the family member. They helped her with her home.
Yeah, they helped her with the home.
Buy her house. Oh, that's like the movie The Help. It was like our family, The Help. Oh, use kind.
Use kind.
But
then my other grandmother worked for a mean old white lady.
Yeah, she was. Remember, I think I
don't. Let me watch you when you leave out, Fanny. Mm-hmm. And I went with her one day. Grandma was cleaning the lady's house, and she sit back
looking at you because you another Negro coming in.
Fanny, I need you to go get my medicine. Fanny, can you put my medicine?
Don't bring no more of your family members over.
Fanny, can you help me go to the washroom? Fanny.
But she didn't do that woman for a long time. Didn't she do? She had more than one?
She had more than one.
Yeah. So isn't that something how they talked about that in the movie The Help? They all had different experiences. Some of them had good people they work with. Some of them had some mean, evil ones.
So he gave himself donkey other day.
I like that he gave himself donkey.
True says, yes, I had a federal government job, and it takes a lot for them to let you go.
They didn't let my roommate's person go. They moved them to another location.
Scarlett said, what I know about civilian agencies, yes, I was violated before the military. Nothing ever came of it.
Oh, okay.
Wendy says, did you talk about Pee Wee Herman? I'm so sorry I missed the show. Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm.
He had cancer. Lenora was saying, what kind of
cancer, Wendy?
We said that he had cancer, but we didn't know what kind.
It didn't go in details in the that story we looked at.
Scarlett said, things that make you go, Scarlett said, at Wendy, yes, we were trying to figure out what kind. Wendy says, remember I told you that about my grandmother. They gave her pearls, jewelry, furs, and she raised their kids.
So not
all. It was teach real history, y'all. Let the real story. We'll talk about the white people who helped black people escape and everything.
One of our relatives, grandmother worked for the home that she worked for. When they passed away, they gave her a how much? They gave her a lot of money.
Yeah.
They get, you know how they bring you in the wheel?
The wheel, yeah.
And she got a lot of money.
But if you teach history, we'll tell there were white people who risked their lives for people to escape slavery. There were white people who worked in the North and in the South, even after slavery, to try to abolish separatism. There were white people who traveled on busloads, who the KKK got rid of them, and who helped. People who protested, who walked with Martin Luther King. There was people who helped start the NAACP. Teach all history, the real history. Not that white people are bad and black people were poor and distraught, but that there was a history of something that happened in this country, and that we're trying to overcome it, and all of us working together can do it. Isn't that a better educational proposition for students in Florida? Look at your person next to you. She's a different race, but we're all the same. We love each other. Embrace her differences, her culture, and she'll embrace yours, and we'll learn to live with each other.
I love when history shows everybody, the Hispanic, Cuban, Mexican, Asian,
Irish,
people from India. Everybody has a history.
Yes.
Good, bad, and ugly. Good, bad, and ugly.
Good, bad, and ugly.
So what is wrong with that?
And those freedom movies, the Irish people weren't looked upon as good when they came over here. They looked at y'all as poor white trash.
And Polish. A lot of people
forget it.
Yeah.
So teach real history. Real history all the way across the board.
I know one of the things that Joy keeps saying, I hate when you teach history about Italians. Please don't always talk about mafia. We always consider mafia bad, and criminals.
Or women.
There's good Italians. There's good Italians.
Teach about real history. We wasn't allowed to work in certain places.
Yeah, and
we couldn't go to certain places as women.
Yeah, and women, yes. Women.
Teach about the Scarlet Ladder.
Oh, you know what?
Teach about women being hung as being witches.
You know what? I think Joy had mentioned on The View, and Sunny was surprised. She said, because Sunny is, she's like old fashioned when it comes to the wedding vows. I now pronounce you man and wife.
Oh yeah.
The wife is a title of the duties that she would take on in the home.
That's true.
And the man and Sunny went, I didn't know that.
Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land stretching out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside. No, New York is where I'd rather stay. I get allergic smelling hay. I just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue. The chores. The stores. Fresh air. Times Square. You are my wife. Goodbye, city life. Green Acres, we are there. My favorite show, Lucy. Lucy on. Oh, Ricky, no!
They slept in separate beds.
Ricky,
too.
did you
They start sleeping in the one bed.
They always, well, Ricky, did you smack her around? I didn't have to. She listened. Honeymooners, bang, zoom,
right to the moon.
right to
Alice,
the moon,
right
Alice,
to the
right
moon.
to the moon. We watched all of that.
I know.
And I'll watch it again because it was during that time, just like Black exploitation. Hey, sucker John,
What's up, my man?
What's up, my man?
Freddie's dead.
Every time a Black person came on the show, what's up, man? Why y'all dancing every scene? Because we having fun, my brother.
Y'all need to go see Clone Tyrone. Did he talk about it yet?
No.
We gotta wait.
Oh, it's like that.
Clone Tyrone.
Yeah.
That's a stereotype.
What's up, my man?
You know what's good?
It's still a few pigs out there.
You know what? I'm going.
You gonna put
They don't
me
go
over.
back to the 70s, but it's still stereotype. Y'all
Yes.
need to go see Clone Tyrone. They Clone
Or
Tyrone.
go back to Hattie Mae. Just what we gonna do down here, boys? Then when she went, I like to thank the Academy.
Yes, I'm so proud of. I'm very grateful to be a part of this movie, and and people are like,
but she opened the door because that was the only role.
I know.
What we gonna do? Oh Lord Jesus, oh Lord, have money.
Or the black guy. What's the black guy?
Oh, help me, Jesus!
Charlie-
There's a mouse
What was
outside.
the
I'm scared.
black guy in Charlie Chan
Oh yeah.
with the big eyes? Oh, he was always scared.
Oh Lord.
I don't know who I'm going there.
You know, Black people don't like no ghosts.
No, we don't play around with
We
those.
super spiritual. I'll
Love it,
put
I
together
love
a
it.
hex for you. You
I
want me to
love
put a
it.
hex together for you to send over there?
She don't do the voodoo on you. Ooh, gonna put a hex.
Oh Lord, I don't know what we gonna do. Oh Lord Jesus,
We
oh
come a
Lord.
long way.
Are y'all gonna come save us? We gonna come save you. No, thank you, Jesus. All I want to do is just birth your babies. Have God's gonna help you with your baby. That's all. I don't want to do
You
nothing
is
else.
kind. You is beautiful. Oh,
Hazel,
Lord.
do you want to learn how to read? No, I don't want to know how to read. Oh Lord Jesus, no, that's too much for my little old pot brain. I just want to help birth your baby. That's all I want to do.
That's all I want to do. Okay.
We progress from that to sucker, I ain't birthing your baby.
Remember Rooster?
Now we rude
What's his
and
name?
obnoxious. You think my mama was birthing your babies? You pig.
I like watching.
You pig, you hunky. I ain't birthing your baby.
Mr. Jefferson. Oh my gosh, those were the days.
So that's it. All history.
Yeah,
Teach it.
good, bad, the ugly.
She said he had 6 years of cancer. What kind of cancer?
We're
That's
trying
what
to
we
find
wanna
out
know.
what kind. They won't. He was real private about it.
Wendy M said the Freedom Riders. Yes, that was that group of white people that came down in Mississippi, I believe. Wendy says I was more of a Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock type. Scarlett says perfect.
And you like Black Mirror? What is it, Black Mirror?
Wendy said I also like Bewitched. Yeah.
She'll like Black Mirror then.
Mhm.
If you like Twilight Zone,
Wendy said where is Perk? Scarlett said get
that's
ready.
what we've been asking. Perk.
Yeah, we was asking that.
Anybody know?
I hope he all right.
We emailed him,
Mike.
but he didn't reply.
M.
Mike Perk. Yeah.
Scarlett says getting ready to watch They Clone Tyrone. You said to watch him.
It's out there, but watch it at least so you can say I've seen it, and then we'll get y'all views on it.
Scarlett said was it good? You just answered
No,
that. It
no,
wasn't good.
I didn't like
Wendy
it.
says I watched Clone Tyrone twice. So she
You
must
like
like
it? You
She
like it,
said it
Wendy?
was good. She liked it.
Mm-mm.
Wendy says a lot of hidden messages.
Yes.
And Scarlett says at Wendy good. Love hidden messages.
I didn't know the ending.
Don't
was gonna
say
be
nothing.
the ending, but it was
Yeah,
a very
don't say
good
nothing.
hidden
All right.
message. It makes you
Lenore.
no, it makes you sit and think
All right.
as a Black person.
Okay. All right, y'all. So don't forget to get our book, 100 Family Friendly Jokes.
Mhm.
The link is in the description, and the book is on Amazon.
Mhm.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Always believe. And that was another Woods Report. See y'all later. See you later.
That's
All right,
the one.
TikTok. See you.